Hello and welcome to the Justice Factor. Lindiwe Mazibuko would be nothing without me. That, according to the Sunday Times, is the sensational claim made by Democratic Alliance leader Helen Zille about the party's outgoing parliamentary leader. Did she say it, and why would she say it? My second guest today is DA leader Helen Zille, and she will join us from our Cape Town studios. After that discussion, we'll give you, as usual, our winner and loser of the week. But first, I'm joined by the Deputy Secretary General of the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, Numsa, to discuss the union's decision to form a left-leaning workers' party. My first guest today is Karl Cloete, Deputy Secretary General of Numsa. Karl, welcome to the show. I have to ask you, what can the ANC do to keep you guys from going away today?
Good evening, Justice, and to your viewers. I'm not certain whether the African National Congress is capable of turning around or making a U-turn. A U-turn in the sense that it would make a complete break with new liberal policy as seen in the NDP, move away from e-tolling, ban labor brokers, agree to a national minimum wage now. So if you could answer that and say that the ANC would make things better for the working class, then certainly there's hope. From where we sit, there is no hope. But
you would agree with me, the ANC has just received a fantastic win in these elections. 62.15% of people who voted for the ANC. They are saying yes to e-tolls. They are saying yes to the ANC investigating a minimum wage. They are saying yes to all the things that you mentioned. I don't see the working class moving away from the ANC.
Well, I think a detailed analysis would help us to understand that what is celebrated as a big and decisive victory may not be the case. If one considers that there are eligible voters in this country, adult enough to be able to make a cross, some of them register, others they do not. And if one goes back to 1994, from those eligible to vote, you would have seen the ANC enjoying 59% just from those that can. Today, it is a mere 36%. So, yes, you know, calculations can be made in a particular way and statistics used or abused, but this is not a decisive victory.
I'm not convinced by that because there are parties that speak the same language as you. The SACP is one, and we'll come to that. The PAC, AZAPO, all of them have dwindled to nothing. So left-leaning parties actually have seen no play whatsoever in this election.
You see, the important thing, an important point to make is that the South African working class today is leaderless. If you go to community service delivery protest, what you will find is sometimes violent action of young people throwing stones, burning down clinics and libraries and so on. And if you look for the leaders, there is no organic form. And one of the things that we've agreed to
leaders.
do...
Take Bekkersdal, for example. Bekkersdal, all that violence, all that protest, and 80% of the people who voted in Bekkersdal voted for the African National Congress. What I'm saying to you is, however you cut this cake, the ANC still commands the respect of 62.15% of the voters, and the voters like the ANC.
I think one thing to appreciate is that the ANC is a national liberation movement of more than a decade old. The South African people associate with the ANC on the basis that it's the ANC and other liberation movements that brought apartheid to its knees, and that it is the ANC that was responsible for the 1994 democratic breakthrough. So people would be, for those historical reasons and for sentimental reasons and for some political romantic reasons, feel themselves attached. We can tell you that in the Numsa leadership, 99.9% no other home than the UDF, COSATU, the ANC, etc. And therefore, you will find, Justice, that people will associate. But this is not sustainable, particularly on the path that the ANC would have chosen.
Just one last question on this issue. UDM, COPE, ID, they've all come and they've all said, you know, we're going to take away the ANC, we're going to break this romantic, if you will, association with the liberation movement. And where are they now? They're all, ID has been swallowed up, COPE is gone, UDM is playing with 1.3% or whatever it is. There's nothing there. What I'm saying to you is that you're beginning a process that's going to lead to the destruction of Numsa and possibly this new party.
Well, the first point I should say is that Numsa is very firm. It would never transform itself into a political party. It will remain a trade union to defend workers, their conditions of employment and benefits, and to improve all of those. When you form any political party out of anger, out of being a victim of sorts, you're not likely to offer any alternative.
You are angry at the ANC because of GAIR in the past, because of the NDP today. Essentially, you two are like all these parties. You're angry.
We are not. We are not. We were born in 1987 on Saturday, this past Saturday. We were 27 years in existence, long before the formation of the EFF.
You're staying as a trade union with a party that you're going to form is a party of angry, perhaps even populists.
Absolutely not. The things that we are saying, we've been consistently saying. We have been saying you must implement the Freedom Charter to its fullest. You must ensure that you deal with the remnants and the legacy of apartheid and colonialism of a special type. And if you see a rightward turn, so you talk left, but you're walking right, you're not beginning to ensure that you deliver on what people have believed this national democratic revolution should do, which is off track because we see poverty, inequality, and unemployment.
You sound a lot like the economic freedom fighters who, to their credit, fought an election and have 1.1 million people voting for them. Now, when you start this united front and call on people, are you going to invite Julius Malema to come in? And who else are you inviting?
Let me confirm, the media has been speculating that we would have had bilaterals with the EFF, with WASP, all sorts of political parties on the left. I can confirm here on this public platform that we have not had any such bilaterals. What we will do, we are getting into three things, Justice, if I can mention them quickly. We're going into the townships on what we call United Front political discussion forums in some of the major townships. We are going to go to provincial consultative forums to consult with many people, which will culminate in a national consultative conference. And any particular political formation on the left that believes in what we're putting forward will basically be free to join in that conversation, to ask the question, what minimum program and what unity in action?
Karl Cloete, I'm afraid we've run out of time, but thanks so much for coming to elucidate us on this new party. We look forward to its formation in the next few months.
Thank you very much.
After the break, we asked DA leader Helen Zille whether she made Lindiwe Mazibuko.
News that moves. ENCA.com.